Sister loved each and every one of the students, and the students knew that. She brought out the best of them in them. And she was a very kind-hearted person. People would call her with their problems. Sister taught me that whenever I should start something, I should finish it. And if you weren't going to do a good job at what you were doing, don't bother. Just don't do it at all. And she taught me to look beyond the person to see the good qualities in them. I do have more than one. Sister loved dangly earrings. She couldn't wear jewelry, and so every time she would go out of town, she would come back and there would be the longest pair of dangly earrings on my desk. And then if you didn't wear them, she'd ask where they were. One of my jobs when I was working there was to run the transportation program for the school. We had the big school van, and we had a person named Phil Kimnotch that was our bus driver. About 11 o'clock, I got a phone call from Phil, and he was sick. And he said, I said, "What are we going to do, Phil?" And he said, he says, "No problem. We had this student on the bus that knew how to get everywhere. His name was Lynn Nelson. Lynn will help you. He'll direct you where to go." So I had the list of the students, and when I went into Sister, I said, "We've got a problem because Phil is sick, and we don't have a backup bus driver." So she said, "You drive and I'll go with you." Well, that's not a good idea. She was no more directionally, she was directionally challenged, and so am I. I never know which way I'm going. So anyway, we loaded up the kids on the bus, and it was fine as long as Lynn was on the van, because he would say, "Turn right here," or "Turn left here," and so we did that. So Sister and I were driving back and forth and trying to get. We had one student left on the bus, and it was Eve Greco. So anyway, she finally said, "My mom and dad like me home at 5 o'clock for dinner." And Sister said, "You can't tell us what to do." She says, "You have to be glad that you have a ride. You could be walking home." So anyway, we finally got Eve home, and she was home at 5 o'clock for her dinner. But that's one thing I remember about Sister, and she had a sense of humor. I think that everyone that she taught and everyone that she met, she made a better life for them. They feel a self-worth that they would not have felt if she had not been their leader.